It's the big story of the moment. The Chandigarh Mayoral poll should go down, viewer, as one of the most disgraceful electoral episodes in recent memory. With every aspect of it playing out on camera, including CCTV cameras, it has confirmed many people's worst fears about how elections, including low-level elections, can be manipulated. Take a look at this man. He's become the face of this entire ignominy. Anil Massey, the shameless presiding officer who was caught on camera invalidating votes, an act which the Supreme Court has now struck down as election malpractice, is the visible villain of this piece. He's not only become a global meme representing corruption and venality, but also the face of ridicule. A Chandigarh mayoral election wasn't ever going to make headlines, ever. Wasn't even going to be a take-note story in the national media. But as the first literal test of the BJP versus the newly formed India alliance, it suddenly had an inflated status, a litmus test, as it were, on the road to 2024. Losing the mayoral election fair and square likely wouldn't have had any real effect on the BJP beyond lighting up TV screens and celebrations of a psychological booster shot for the India alliance, the Aam Aadmi Party, Congress combined in Chandigarh. So the question arises, why was this malpractice even allowed to happen? Did the higher-ups know about it? Beyond that, it probably wouldn't have mattered at all. Would we even be talking about the Chandigarh mayoral poll at this time? Which is precisely why I'm raising these big questions at the top of my show today. Was Anil Massey acting alone or acting under orders? Who ordered him to indulge in this election malpractice? What is the truth of what happened? What is the chain of command? The Supreme Court has had very harsh words for this entire episode, and rightly so. But the question is, will the Supreme Court also order an investigation into the actions of this man, who has now become a ridiculous poster boy for electoral corruption? In this season, viewer, of Saam Daam Dand Bhed, the BJP will likely see this as a very small bump on an otherwise very smooth road to the 2024 election. For a splintering India alliance, the Supreme Court's aggressive verdict provides them a morale booster, no doubt about it. The question is, does the opposition have the stamina and the focus to use this verdict to reinforce its allegation that the BJP machine has captured all institutions and thereby amplify a real issue beyond the disparate and confusing narratives of the India alliance? Because, like it or not, this is election season and there is an election to fight beyond the usual morality play, where the overpowering story has been the collapse of this partnership itself. Can the India alliance look beyond that and truly make a meal of what the Supreme Court has said about this particular election? Political observers never fail to point out how, despite 140 opposition MPs recently being suspended from Parliament, they simply went about their business without hitting the streets and making it a massive national issue to put pressure on the Modi government. The scathing words of the Supreme Court now on the Chandigarh poll are another opportunity for the opposition, because they reinforce a central thrust of what the Congress party and the others have said for long. The question is, will they? The bigger question is, will it matter? I want to go across now to India Today's executive editor, Preeti Chaudhary, who's been watching this election very closely and the fallout. Preeti, we've been reporting on what the Supreme Court has said, right from the beginning to now, scathing, unsparing words for the process, for Anil Massey. We don't know yet if an investigation is going to be ordered. But first takes, Preeti, on what the impact of what the Supreme Court has said is likely to be now.
Well, the impact of what the Supreme Court has said, Shiv, immediate impact is that you're going to see a press conference by the Chief Minister of Delhi, Arvind Kejriwal, strangely, because what's happened is in Chandigarh, now it is for the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress. They will go to town by saying that this is a mandate that has been restored. It was stolen and now it has been restored. What it will do, in a way, it could be the first push that a sputtering India alliance that hasn't been able to come together on seat sharing. It might be that push for that India alliance, Shiv. And why I say that is because this is now the first test for the India alliance, the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party. Mind you, this is a win as much for the Congress as it is for the Aam Aadmi Party, because Kuldeep Kumar was a joint candidate. He might come from the Aam Aadmi Party, but this was the first election. It might be a mayor election, but the first election that the India alliance fought together. And this could prove to be an impetus in maybe coming together on seat sharing talks, as small as this is. You can trust the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party to go very big on it. What it's also done, Shiv, is that this evening the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress committee is meeting after over a month and a half to take forward seat sharing talks for Delhi, the 7 seats in Delhi. Will there be a possible reaction in other states that have been witnessing, a trust deficit on seat sharing? Because this will be now not just a moral victory, but also a victory that this alliance needed desperately to show to people that if we can come together, we can actually make it. Because if the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress had fought this election, independently, it was rest assured that the mayor would have been the BJP. So this is a small example they're going to take across. You will expect a scathing press conference from the, from Arvind Kejriwal in just a short while from now. But all in all, Shiv, it's a huge morale booster for the India alliance, as well as, many would suggest a win for democracy.
And, after weeks of troubling news for the India alliance, like Preeti says, could this be a balm to many of the other afflictions, seat sharing talks in other states? Could those suddenly now get solace from this morale booster that the Supreme Court has offered? Preeti, thanks for putting that into perspective.